Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Ingenious Britain's Small Business of the Month with Seriously Connected. And as you can see there on the slide, I've put their website there if you want to go and have a look at what they're all about while we're doing the interview. So I'm going to say hello to Kat and Dave. Hello, Kat and Dave.
Hi, Daz.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you doing? What does it feel like to be the Ingenious Britain Small Business of the Month?
We feel very privileged. Thanks very much, Daz. Very privileged indeed.
Brilliant. So tell us a little bit about how you caught our attention, because it was actually my predecessor in this job whose eye you caught, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose we were involved in the Ingenious Britain's Power Hour, can't say that, which is an event on Twitter, which gets lots of small businesses across the UK all networking and talking and connecting. And we were involved on that on the 28th of February, and it was about the thing that we loved in February. And so we answered and got connecting with people and said that we'd set up 3 small independent recruitment businesses in February. And with that and a bit of tweeting, sharing and connecting, we won the award for February.
Bit of Twitter love.
Bit of Twitter love, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. So just tell us, just imagine that I know absolutely nothing about you, and just tell me a little bit about how you got started with the business that you're in at the moment.
Yeah, it sort of started about 12, 14 years ago, actually, with me. I got into recruitment a long, long time ago, and Kat was a client of mine. She's an operations and business administration expert, and then after almost 10 years in a recruitment business, I decided that probably setting up my own business, I had the right contacts and the right clients, and I thought, you know something, I can do this on my own. So I sort of started to build a website and build some legals and some contracts and all that kind of thing, and realised that actually I'm a recruiter and I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. So I rang up my long trusted, professional friend Kat and asked her opinion how you do all these sort of things. And Kat, being a genius at that kind of stuff, she helped me get the business set up. Seriously Connected, it was sort of born after not too long after that, really, because I sort of realised with all the difficulty with setting websites up and legals and contracts and so on, actually this is why recruiters don't do it, because it takes quite a lot longer than you realise. So what we decided to do is, there are lots of very good recruiters out there. Every single recruiter I've ever met, every single recruiter in the UK has thought about setting up their own recruitment business, but actually the reason why they don't is because it can be quite difficult in the beginning. So we decided to make it easy for them and set up a complete infrastructure where we can set them up very quickly, as long as they've got the right client base and candidate base and want to do it themselves.
Brilliant. So your mission is based around recruiters and helping them get started. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, our mission really is to help every recruiter in the UK who wants to have their own business, whether they are already an existing independent recruiter or whether they actually they have the ambition to go out there and actually do it for themselves. It isn't as risky as people think, but actually in bridging the gap from being employed to having your own business, if you have the right support around you, then you can have a successful business. So our mission is to help those people move from employment to self-employed as seamlessly as possible and as profitable as, it's important that you get going quickly. So our mission is to help them do it as quickly as we possibly can.
We should also say, actually, we can help experienced recruiters who already have their own independent business, because if you're a small business or an independent business owner, you're responsible for a hell of a lot very, very quickly, and it's difficult to juggle those things. And what we find is working smarter, not harder, is actually a better way to grow your profits, grow your business and your income. So for people who already have an independent recruitment business, we can really help those people focus on recruiting, i.e. making the money, rather than being dragged down with all the stuff you get involved in a small business, like admin and invoicing and credit control and legals and fixing websites and all that stuff.
I think it sort of caters as well for those recruiters who want a flexible or a part-time type career, but actually still need support around them. Good recruiters can recruit from anywhere at any time of the day. So if they've got the right support around them, then our mission is to help them get going doing that.
Is it a particular type of recruiter that you're aiming for, or is it just the whole kit and caboodle?
Well, I think it's a great question. Obviously there are certain types of recruiters that we think would be more successful maybe than others, and I think those are normally experienced recruiters. But the way it's set up, with this caters for mums in recruitment or dads in recruitment, people who need to work around, who maybe can't be permanently employed anymore, but need a bit of a flexible sort of setup. But any recruiter who has a client base or a candidate base that wants to do it for themselves, who understand the market and have the ambition and drive to actually go and recruit, we can help those right across the UK, whether it's permanent recruiters, contract recruiters, any discipline, it doesn't matter, because ultimately we're providing a service to help them get going as efficiently as possible.
So there's not really then an ideal niche within recruitment. It can be pretty broad.
Yeah, I mean, do you know something? We've got people in our network who look after nuclear scientists and look after those sort of people. Yeah, I mean, Kevin looks after nuclear guys. I'm talking to a chap over at Ascot at the moment, and they have veterinary and horses, so he looks after all the staff and all the stable hands and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't even know that really was an industry that existed. So we've got a real diverse industry from anything in the middle, from that sort of things. But generally, you've got the traditional industries like, financial services, engineering, IT, sales, FMCG, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, etc. Any of those disciplines, as long as the recruiter knows that market, then we can help them.
So does that sort of matter to you at all? I suppose you'll learn quite a few things along the way about these different niches, won't you? If you're coming across quite a broad spectrum.
Absolutely. I mean, what's really interesting is talking to the recruiters a lot. They automatically assume you know about the nuclear industry, and they automatically assume you know what a data cable management IT infrastructure guy is. And, sorry, no, I don't. But what is really interesting is talking to these guys. It's quite liberating, because you do learn about different things, and it is really interesting to see how people are positioned. I mean, I've learned quite a bit about rail, actually, recently talking to one of our guys, and I've never known anything about rail, and the legal stuff that's involved with that is really interesting. Yeah. So it's broadened my own recruitment knowledge and, what we've had to help them, but the support services around that don't change. The actual markets that the recruiters are involved with, you learn about their clients, you learn about the types of candidates, because we regularly engage with these recruiters and talk to them. So it is really, really interesting finding out that actually different industries are really they're all varied and they all offer different challenges, but actually recruitment's recruitment, but it's just great getting involved with the other sectors.
And then presumably you've just got this strategy that is not unique to any particular niche, but can be rolled out across the whole lot.
Yeah. What we've got, we have a unique service that we provide, but the actual industry specific, it doesn't matter. What is the common denominator here is an experienced recruiter. We can help that experienced recruiter if they have the ambitions, have their own business. We can help with that 100%. And then we will help them engage with their market in a way that from a different sort of channels that maybe they don't use, because we're so abreast with the new social media functions, how to get access through different cost-saving measures, all those kind of things we can really help with them. But really, their industry, it doesn't matter. The common thing, like I say, is the recruiter themselves.
Okay. So how important do you think flexible working is in the modern workplace then?
We both feel, Dave and I feel that I think flexible working is the future, really. I don't think there's any such thing as a permanent job for life anymore, and people don't just work 9 to 5. It's changed, and it's still changing. I think 2014 has been heralded like the year of the freelancer, I think, and we read recently that by 2020 they estimate that 30% of the UK workforce will be freelance.
Wow.
So and then they think it's going to be higher in the States, so 40% of the US workforce will be freelance. So there's a lot of shift in that direction. And I think really flexible working.
I think flexible working, particularly in the recruitment space, it's so interesting. I mean, I've been in recruitment for a long, long time, and experienced recruiters will know. Monday morning at 8 o'clock, the phone doesn't really stop ringing till Friday at 8 o'clock, and anywhere in between there, you're recruiting. Now, why be in the office from 9 till 5 when you're doing a lot of additional work before and after those core sort of hours? And candidates and so on, you're engaging with them of an evening. They engage in different ways now. Their actual behavioural patterns have changed because, like Kat said, technology with iPhones and laptops, you can do anything, anywhere, and recruiters can actually recruit from anywhere, any time of the day. So this flexible working shift is a real benefit to recruiters because it's about knowledge, it's about relationships, and you will work with those people at the time when they're available. Not everybody's available nowadays between 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock. It's just a thing of the past. So the flexibility for recruiters who know their market, they can actually engage with their audience when the time suits them. And it actually is a positive thing because the recruiters can concentrate on different things at different times of the day and the way they talk to each other. It can be any time, even weekends and so on now. You know, the invention, Mr. Steve Jobs has got a lot to answer for because everybody nowadays has got access to email and mobile phone. There's no escape. There's just no escape anymore, which is a good thing.
Well, that sort of leads quite nicely onto the next question because that's all about social media, which of course is sort of ongoing throughout the day. And how important is social media to your business and connecting with people through that, and how big a part of your daily routine is it?
Well, I think, you'll know from our Twitter experience, so we're quite big fans of social media. We are on like the YouTube and the Google Plus and the Twitter and the Facebook and all that stuff. We find it an incredibly great platform to engage with people. I mean, we are professional networkers, I suppose you could say, and recruiters are professional networkers. And it's great to be able to have open conversations with people over such platforms. They can get in touch with us whichever way they suits them, and we can have immediate, real-time conversations and engage with people and really get some interest going. So for us, that's absolutely a fantastic platform. How we manage it in a daily routine, Dave and I dip in and dip out, don't we, of lots of things. And we outsource a little bit of that. We have a superb girl, Steph, who runs a bit of PR and marketing for us, and to be fair, she does give us a lot of support with that as well, so it's not all up to us to do every day, thankfully.
I think it's, I mean, we wouldn't be on this Google Hangout now with you guys if it wasn't for social media, as it were. But the world and it sort of what I was saying, like you say, it leads on nicely. Recruiters are networkers, and social media allows you to network. It isn't always about gaining customers and so on. It's about credibility. It's about offering advice. We've made a conscious effort to really build relationships with the key influencers in the recruitment industry, people who know how to help us be more efficient, provide a great service, and that kind of interaction that we get, like Kat says, in real time, we can get that out to our recruiters as quick as we can. And okay, they can read it at their leisure, but it's instant, it's there, and these things really do make a difference. And the world has got a lot smaller, but also we're able to communicate with them in a lot more of an efficient manner. And I think social media, it's going to grow and grow and grow, and the way that people interact is going to use these sort of channels more often, I think.
You have quite a large emphasis on community, don't you, in what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We have a massive emphasis on community. I mean, I think there's loads of reasons why we do that, really. As small businesses and independents, it's great to have advice, support, guidance for anybody who's trying to set up their own thing. You know, that sense of people around to ask questions or give guidance or a helping hand, it's so important. But I think for recruiters as well, especially, it works so well because some people have the jobs, some people have the candidates, not everybody has everything. And it works well in split fee networks, stuff like that. You know, you might have a job, you might need a candidate, you can work with people that you know and that you like and that you trust to work with. And that can open many doors and it can make you more money. And I think that's back to our emphasis on, you know, the community and the network and the sharing, really. It's all about collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, recruiters are generally quite social people. They're naturally people that want to, you know, every recruiter has got his own community, really. That's the network of candidates or the network of clients. And we create an extension of that for the way to support them. Now, working on your own, being quite isolated, I know, and Kat knows, we've worked independent, and I'm sure at some point, as you've probably worked from home yourself and at that time, it can be quite isolating. And to have,
yes, definitely.
And to have that emotional support for good days and bad days, and who do you share when you've done a deal, who do you high five with, who do you tell, who do you complain and moan about, but actually having people who really understand, other people that understand the exact position that you're in your community, you know, I think it's so incredibly important. And by bringing these people together across the UK, they are able to have, dare I say it, colleagues, people they trust, people they're involved with, people they can engage with, and maybe even they can work with as well. We know that community, there are power in numbers, and it allows us to help them not necessarily feel so isolated or independent. They feel part of something, and a community of recruiters who understand. Do you know something? Recruiters, whether they like it or not, they like to talk. Whether they admit it or not, they like to talk to people. They want to talk to people, and they really want to tell people when they've had a good day. On your own, who do you tell? But in the community with us, we can do that collectively, and everybody's there to support. So it is definite part of the way I think the future of recruiting, the future of employment will happen. The smaller businesses should work together. There's a lot of benefit in it.
Yeah, I mean, it works equally as well for the big businesses. I mean, look at people like Cadbury on Google Plus. They're really got a massive. They do hangouts. Cadbury do hangouts.
Yeah.
We'll have to get on a Cadbury hangout, won't we?
I don't hang out with. I eat Cadbury's milk on my own. I'm not sharing it with anybody. I'm sorry. Especially a little Decker, no chance.
I've never been on a Cadbury's hangout, but I don't know what they do. I don't know whether they all sit around and eat chocolate or what. But that sense of community can be, in my opinion, from the very small startup right up to the big guys. So I just sort of throw that into echo what you just.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see it, don't you? You see with other sectors and so on. For instance, you know, what about the accountants and the people like that who have great big annual things where they all pull together, where they're involved in their own industry sectors and all that. They probably don't talk as much as they should do, but actually sharing is a good thing. And I think a lot of recruiters, as great as they are at communicating, don't have a platform to share. You can use the likes of LinkedIn and everything, but it's just sort of a one voice outwards. It's very difficult to have a real relationship with somebody via LinkedIn. But actually building a community where people meet each other and share and engage, if Cadbury's are doing it, then who are we to question? You know, we think it's the right thing.
Okay, right, on to the next question. I read a quote on your website, which I've written down. It says, I work less, I earn more. Setting up on my own was the best thing I ever did. So what are the main challenges for people who want to set up on their own in business, maybe as a recruiter, but maybe outside the recruitment industry?
Well, do you know what? Interestingly enough, I think it does apply to any sector, really. Mm-hmm. I think there's two ways of looking at that, I think. Anybody can set a business up themselves. Of course there are. You go and speak to your accountant, they show you to a limited company, you go and speak to somebody, they show you to build a website, all those kind of... There are a myriad of ways to get the answers of what you want. There are naturally the financial challenges of giving up a salaried job and then going to start generating your own revenue, etc. So, and then actually making money, which is, you know, the key part. But I think I do actually think the biggest challenge isn't any of those. The biggest challenge is confidence.
Yes.
You know, particularly if we say, you know, I mean, I know plumbers and I know accountants and recruiters who are employed, and they all know they could make more money. They all know that technically they are doing the job today for somebody else. Mm-hmm. They are actually recruiting day by day, but they're doing it for a business. But having the confidence to move and not have a salary come in, know how to get a website, know how to get legals, know how to get a presence, and know basically how to start generating money as quickly as possible. The confidence is they don't know how long that's going to take and whether they will be successful. And by the reason why we do this is that however long that gap would take for you on your own, we want to close that. We know with our experience and our ability to deliver our solution and our services, we can do that very, very quickly. We can't guarantee that you'll make loads of money immediately because that's down to how much work you're going to put in. But what we can promise is that we will definitely close that gap and we will help you get going quickly to give you the confidence that you have the people around you who know how to build all those things, who know how to provide the support, the infrastructure, the emotional, and other people who can say, they've done it, this is what we did, this is how long it took. So I think the biggest challenge is, you've probably met yourself, a number of people who've gone, do you know, I'd love to do that, but I'm just not sure, and it's just confidence. And if you've got people around you that you know you can rely on and trust to bridge that gap, you should have a really, really good opportunity to make a good business. So I think the challenge really does come down to confidence.
I mean, I've been, I always laugh, I've been trying to set up a website for 2 years now. And I just keep getting distracted. You know, if I had someone who was sort of kicking me up the backside and maybe holding my hand through it and whatever, it would have not taken 2 years.
Well, the thing is, I think that just to sort of add to that, that's the whole point, because as a recruiter or a music teacher or an accountant or a social media specialist, whatever it is that your skill, you spend time being distracted doing something that isn't actually your core focus. It's not what you're there for. You're not there to build a website. You're there to give music lessons or be a recruiter or be a plumber or whatever it is you're there for. Yeah. And that is a distraction, and that's the point. Those things that you do that you're not built for or experienced are what slows you down, which delays your time. It stops you making money. Now, I'm not saying it's all about making money, but if you're independent, you've got to pay the bills. It's about making money as quickly as you can and getting yourself established. So those things are a distraction, and if you had somebody around you to help you deliver those things, it really should get you. You would probably have done that if you'd have gone, right, can I do this in one go? You'd have done it a lot quicker.
So that's almost, you're helping people maintain the momentum of their business whilst setting themselves up, getting themselves established.
Yeah, it's about juggling. It's back to what we said. It's about juggling priorities, and you know, I think we said it at the start of the call that, you know, as a small business owner, you have a lot of priorities. There are a lot of things that take your attention, and some of those don't make you any money and aren't what you're good at. So why would you be doing that, you know, when it is such a distraction? And I think to get momentum, to maintain it, that's one of the biggest things, is to focus on the things that make you money, which are normally getting customers, keeping customers, and things like your accounts or, you know, websites and email aren't actually a core focus for your business.
It can be, they're a distraction. They are a distraction. So recruiters are usually quite motivated people. Yeah. But if they are, dare I say, getting a little bit bogged down with what they think is paperwork or company's house stuff or a VAT and all that, do you know something? When you don't really know what the process is, you end up focusing on that in a negative way instead of being positive and motivated to do what you're good at, which, like I say, is recruiting. So maintaining motivation, you know, recruiters are very easy to watch Jeremy Kyle and watch the TV and decide they're going to get up at 10 and not do it, as are most people who set their own business up. You know, really, we want to work with them and go, come on, let's have a chat now. Where you're up to? You know, have you spoke to anybody? Where you're up to? Because you're not going to make money all by yourself. It's not going to make money by itself. You have to get involved. So
there's almost you're holding them accountable
to themselves.
For themselves, is that what I mean? Yeah. They have someone to answer if you're on the phone saying, "What have you achieved today?"
Yeah. I think that's very valid, and I think if anyone's ever worked from home and set up a business for themselves, like Dave and I have independently of Seriously Connected, it's very easy to think that you're busy and that you're busy doing things for your business. You're busy on social media, or you're busy doing email things, or whatever those things are that you think you're very busy with, and it can be very easy, and then you say, well, hang on, 3 or 4 months have gone past, and what have I really actually achieved? And I think that's very easy in recruitment as well, because, you know, you can get distracted with all these things, and suddenly all this time's passed and there's no money in the bank.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, particularly let's say the first 12 weeks, we work with the recruiters in the first 12 weeks. We're not making them account. We're not saying you must do this or you must do that. What we're doing, it's like having an accountability partner. Okay, at the end of week 1, how's it gone? What have you done? Did you do this? Okay. What's your plan in the beginning? Well, I want to make, you know, X amount of placements in the first 3 months or the first 6 months. Okay. And by week 1 and week 2 and week 3, and just by having a half an hour, 40-minute conversation, just as a bit of a review to say, well, you said you were going to do this week, that's last week, you haven't done that. What are you going to do next week? Because now you've got to do everything you didn't do last week, and it's just making them think about their own activity during the day, during the week, and where they're up to. And everybody has distractions, of course, to do. I'm easily distracted, to be honest with you. But when you've got to week 4 and 5 and 6, and you haven't done very much, we want to focus you, because if you're not being successful, you're going to get demotivated or unhappy, and we don't want that. You're there to enjoy it and have a great business. So it's just making them accountable a little bit to themselves, and because the first 3 months are going to be the hardest, and that's what we're there for. That is the most important time for them, we think.
I mean, that's you motivating other people. What actually motivates you as a business and business owners?
We like helping people, actually. We get a kick out of that, don't we?
Yeah, I think Kat and I both inherently like helping people. I know it sounds a little bit, fluffy. I don't know, whatever you want to say, but I mean, I was in I had a team of recruiters for a long time, and I loved helping them. I loved helping them get going. I loved watching them make money and make placements and deals, etc. But I think now we know what a great career and a great job it is having your own business. We know how rewarding it can be. It's not without its challenges, and it's not without its stresses. It's not, but it's completely different. But it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more enjoyable. And those people who, and I think I speak for both of us here, those people who want to leave permanent employment, set their own business up, if we can help them and help them make money and start realising their own ambitions, and whether that's to spend more time with the children, have a bit of a flexible life, whether it's to go and buy a Porsche or a BMW, a holiday in the Bahamas, or stop giving away big chunks to their employer, whatever their motivations are, if we can make it easy for them and watch them succeed, even if they just say, thanks very much for your help, it's been great, that's what we do it for. It's great to help these people get on. We've made loads of mistakes, and we've learned loads while we've been doing this, of course we have. We just don't want those other people to make, those mistakes, to spend money they don't need to and whatever. If we can help them get going quickly and be successful, then it can only be a good thing. It's quite rewarding like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now this is a bit of a tradition, so it seems, with these hangouts, and you're always asked, can you describe your business in just three words? So
can we describe our business in 3 words?
Yes.
No, we can't. No. Oh, sorry. Seriously. Can we describe Seriously Connected in 3 words? Yeah, we have a hashtag that we have. So I suppose it's along those lines. So Seriously Connected equals freedom to recruiters. Freedom for recruiters, let's say. Freedom for recruiters.
There we go, that's 3 words.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm just going to check and see if there are any questions on the page. Just refresh that.
Yeah. Sun's out, Daz.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't plan this very well, did we?
We're in Manchester, to be honest with you. We've never seen it before.
Right, there don't seem to be any questions there. So, if someone wanted to take the next step with you, or wanted to come and check out your website, where would they go?
www.seriouslyconnected.co.uk. I think the best thing to do really is drop us a line, hello@seriouslyconnected.co.uk. And we like talking to people, so give us a call, send us an email, talk to Dave, talk to me. It's the quickest and easiest way to just have a brief chat and find out if our service is something that will really help them.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, someone stole the strap line. It's good to talk, but you know what? We're recruiters. We like to talk. We like to chat. Yeah, the phone is always the best way. Let's have a chat and maybe even get together and see how we can help. If they're interested, let's see if we can help them.
Okay, and there's all your social media icons up at the top of your website, I think.
Right. Yeah.
People can connect with you on there as well and have a natter if they want to.
Yeah.
Okay, I think before you get burnt to a crisp in that.
I can't believe it.
Hello. I don't know what's happened.
We'd maybe finish there. It's got brighter and brighter throughout the interview, hasn't it?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, that's been a fantastic interview. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And we will no doubt be hearing more from you on Twitter and and Facebook and all that sort of thing. We'll keep in touch.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for your time, Daz. It really has been nice to talk to you. Thanks, thanks to Ingenious Britain as well. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
No problem at all. Catch you later.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.